We spend our entire lives building a home. We pay the mortgage. We paint the walls. We fill the rooms with memories. But there is a secret fear that haunts every single one of us over the age of 60. It's not the fear of dying. It's the fear of being removed. The fear of that one doctor's appointment where they look at your children and say, "She isn't safe here anymore." They told me I had two choices: become a burden to my daughter, or go broke in a nursing home. I chose neither. My name is Martha. I am 74 years old. And instead of moving into a facility, I turned my home into a fortress of friendship. This is how I cheated the system, kept my house and saved my life. Welcome to the Wise Cast. This is the story of how you can do it too. To understand the solution, you have to understand the trap. The trap doesn't snap shut all at once. It closes slowly, inch by inch. For me, it started 3 years ago when my husband Henry passed. When Henry was here, the house was alive. It was a partnership. He handled the gutters, I handled the garden. He drove at night, I navigated. But when he left, the house changed. It stopped being a shelter and started becoming a monster. 2,000 square feet is a lot of space for one person. The silence was so loud it hummed. I stopped cooking because, why cook for one? I stopped going upstairs because my knees hurt. My world shrank to the living room and the kitchen. Then came the day that changed everything. It was a Tuesday. I was reaching for the oatmeal on the top shelf. I'd done it 1,000 times. But this time my slipper caught the edge of the stool. I went down. I didn't pass out. I lay there on the cold linoleum for 4 hours, unable to reach my phone. For hours of staring at the dust bunnies under the fridge, thinking, this is it. This is how I lose my freedom. My daughter Linda found me. She was an angel, but she was an exhausted angel. She worked full time. She had 2 teenagers. Sitting in that hospital bed, I heard the doctor whisper to her, "Linda, she can't go back there alone. It's negligent." Negligent. That word cut me like a knife. Living in my own home was now a crime? So we did the tour. The Sunset Meadows facility. They used words like community and assistance. But I have eyes. I saw the residents lined up in the hallway in their wheelchairs, staring at a television that wasn't even turned on. I smelled the air, that distinct mix of industrial cleaner and boiled vegetables. Then came the price tag. The administrator smiled, a shark smile, and said, "For a semi-private room, it's $6,500 a month." I did the mental math instantly. My Social Security was $1,800. My pension was $1,200. I would have to sell the house just to pay for 2 years of care. And after that, Medicaid, award, poverty. I looked at Linda. She was trying to be brave, but I saw the panic in her eyes. She was calculating how she would pay for this. She was wondering if she needed to sell her own home. I grabbed her hand and said, "Take me home. I am not going there to die." I went home against medical advice. But I knew I needed a plan. I couldn't be stubborn and stupid. I needed safety. I searched the internet for alternatives to nursing homes. I fell down a rabbit hole of despair until I found an article about the Golden Girls trend. Women in France, in Japan, in Canada who were moving in together. Not as romantic partners but as boomer mates. I walked down my hallway. 3 bedrooms. Empty. Collecting dust. I wasn't a poor woman. I was a woman sitting on an unmined gold mine. I had the asset. I had the space. I just needed the people. I put an ad in the local church bulletin and on a senior networking site. Room for rent. Must love dogs. Must be tidy. $600 per month. I didn't want charity. I wanted a business arrangement. The first few interviews were disasters. But then June walked in. June was 68. She had gone through a gray divorce and lost her home in the settlement. She was living in a studio apartment that cost her entire pension. She looked at my spare room with the view of the garden and she wept. She said, "Martha, I don't need a nurse. I just need a home." We didn't just move in. We signed a contract. This is the part nobody tells you. You can't just rely on a handshake. We wrote down everything. Quiet hours. Fridge space. Who cleans the toilet? We created a legal structure for our friendship. That first night, hearing another person in the house was strange. I woke up to the sound of a kettle whistling. For a second I thought Henry was back. Then I remembered. It was June. And for the first time in 3 years the house didn't feel empty. It felt safe. If I fell today, June would hear me. 6 months later we realized we had room for one more. Alice joined us. She's 55, still works part-time at the library, but wanted to save money for her own retirement. Alice brings the energy. She drives us to appointments when the weather is bad. June cooks. I handle the garden. Let's talk about the money, because this is the part that changed my life. Instead of paying $6,500 a month to a facility, I am collecting $1,200 a month in rent. That money pays my property tax, my heating bill, and my groceries. I am actually saving money in retirement. But the real wealth isn't the money. It's the life. My daughter Linda comes over now, and she doesn't have those worry lines on her forehead. She knows I'm not alone. She joins us for dinner. The house is full of laughter again. Now I know what you're thinking. Martha, I could never live with a stranger. I need my privacy. I thought that too. But ask yourself, do you value your privacy more than your independence? Because a nursing home has zero privacy. A shared room with a curtain is not privacy. Living in your own home with your own rules behind a locked bedroom door? That is privacy. If you want to do this, you need a roadmap. Here is how you start. Step 1. Ruthless vetting. Background checks are non-negotiable. Credit checks are non-negotiable. You are inviting someone into your sanctuary. Step 2. The trial run. Do not sign a year lease immediately. Give it a 30-day trial. If they chew too loudly, or if they disrespect your boundaries, they leave. No hard feelings. It's business. Step 3. Define community versus roommate. June and I eat dinner together, but we don't spend all day together. We have our own TVs. We have our own lives. We are not married, we are co-living. There is a difference. Last week I saw my doctor again. He looked at my chart. My blood pressure was down. My weight was healthy. He asked, Martha, which facility did you choose? They're taking great care of you. I smiled and said, I chose the facility of my own damn house. He laughed, but he also looked amazed, because he sees seniors fading away every day. He saw me getting brighter. This isn't just my story. This is a movement. We are the generation that changed the world in the 60s and 70s. Why are we accepting the status quo now? We don't have to be filed away in cabinets. We can build our own villages. If you are sitting alone in a big house afraid of the future, unlock the spare room. Open your mind. The solution to loneliness isn't an institution. It's each other. My name is Martha. I'm 74, and I'm just getting started. If this story gave you a new idea for your future, please subscribe to the Wise Cast. Share this video with your children so they know you have a plan. Live well. Live wise.